Alright people, so I have a new video, woohoo, yeah, whatever. um, this video is about self-attunement, right? So I'll be breaking down various things, various concepts, like to do with the nervous system, the brain, the heart, energy, frequencies, manifestation, just various different topics regarding self-attunement and how all this affects you as an individual on earth in this in-body experience. You know, I just want to say that yes, I've been to the other side, yes, I've come in my body, and I choose to put my focus here to figure out some things about the in-body experience to bring a better experience for those living on it, right? So let's get into it. I'll start off with the brain. The brain, I have my notes here, right, by the way. They may not be in a perfect order, but I'll try to deliver them as well as I can. So, starting. The brain is not a thought generator. It is a frequency tuner. The mind helps you grasp frequencies and bring them to reality. This is why you think, and it doesn't know. So what I mean it doesn't know is sometimes people think and they don't know. That's why you think and you don't know. Right? The brain is an intuitive grasper. You feel something, like an idea, then it clicks, your mind has it, right? Next, moving on to the heart. The heart generates the field and is responsible for bringing new energy and moving around the system. So the heart moves the energy around the system. So it's like, let's say you always feel sad and you want to feel happy. You use the heart to tap into that emotion and you now have happiness, for example, right? The gut. The gut is responsible for presenting feeling and creative energy. So you ever know how people get that intuitive and gut feeling about things? It's because the gut is for feeling, right? The gut, every time for example, I feel something or feel an emotion, it always comes from my stomach area. I always feel it in there. First, I always feel the fire in there, the drive in there, the hurt, the pain, whatever it is, the anger. The energy always starts there, right? So in my notes here, I put the brain isn't meant for learning and cramming. It is a part of a greater creative force and a unifying force, frequency and consciousness in the body. That is why there's so much sectors. You know how the brain has different lobes: the temporal lobe, the parietal lobe. The brain has the prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, etc., etc., right? It decodes and integrates through feeling and directly matches the heart and gut. So what I'm basically saying is all of these three things need to be in a line. This is why, so this part here I'm going to talk about the chakras, right? I wrote it in a kind of poetic way, or or a storytelling way. So I put, this is why you need a stable root, a strong direction of self, a good voice in the mind that sees and can create from the depths, that is attuned to divine inspiration. So you need a stable root, the root chakra, right? A strong direction of self, which is the solar plexus chakra, a good voice, which is the throat chakra, in the mind that sees, which is your third eye, and can create from the depths, that is attuned to divine spirit. So the depths is your gut, and the divine inspiration is your crown chakra, right? Then next we move on to everything is a pattern of vibration. Every vibration has a template. Being in sovereignty means being able to control the currents and vibrations whilst knowing who you are. This is why you imagine, which is see the vibration, feel, which is integrated into your body, and become, which is grounded in your root chakra, right? So else can I explain this? Everything I put so far was just to show you that your body moves between the frequencies of vibrations, right? Every vibration has a template, as I said. So anger has a template for certain actions, joy has a template for certain actions, abundance has a template for certain actions, right? So when you could see in your mind different templates, you just need to be able to shift the vibration to that template, right? So see it and believe it. You are it. You integrate it into your body. Integration is just the feeling of it. So you see it in your mind and you feel it. You stand with yourself against all odds. You just feel it. And you do that in your day-to-day life. You don't need to sit down and meditate to watch your thoughts, right? My mind, I always watch my thoughts. Even as I'm speaking now, I'm watching my thoughts to see what resonates, what sits, what is said wrong, right? The way I describe it is like being next to a river. The river is continuously flowing, but I'm not in the river. Another saying that I came up with is, spiders are not the web they weave. Just as a spider weaves her webs and stays on it, does not mean it is its permanent home, does not mean it's controlled by the web, is a part of the web. Nothing. The spider just weaved the web to serve its purpose. All emotions and thoughts are like the web. They serve their purpose in grasping the insects, which is grasping the insects could be likened to manifesting what you desire. You do that through your thoughts and your emotions, right? Right, so the body is a paradox. The illusion of separation because the many are one. Eyes, nose, ears, mouth, teeth, tongue, everything. You can separate them, yes, but then they do not function by themselves. Everything is one in the sense that they all function together. They all need each other, right? The attunement physiology to one state is done through the nervous system. Self-observation is key. Self-absorption is key. Look at yourself as a being. So, what I mean by self-absorption is people are in survival mode. So they look, oh, what is happening there, what is happening there, what is happening there, and they forget themselves. They are not absorbed in themselves, so they forget, and their nervous system starts attuning to the physical world around them instead of taking in the energy that they are and re-emitting that energy instead of recycling that energy. It feeds it off of the energy from the outside, and that kills it because the circuit is open, right? The circuit is open, and when the circuit is open, the power just goes nowhere. It's not able to flow properly, so the body needs to feed, right? This is why it dies and gets old and hungry, right? We learn through integration. Again, integration is the feeling, so I learn through feeling something, experiencing it, and integrating that into my being, right? If you experience something, you feel into it. You don't deny the feelings. You feel and you explore the vibration that you feel. You go in and out of the vibration. I can't tell you how to do that because for everyone it's different. For me, I may write a poem about the vibration. I may write all the aspects of it, the way it makes me feel, the way it affects the people around me, the way I see it, the way I am affected by it. That's the way I integrate and explore vibration, right? And then we manifest through awareness, desire, and will. So awareness is the ability to see the vibration, right? Sorry if I'm distracted. Awareness is the ability to see the vibration. You see, for example, you see that you are angry. You observe the anger, you explore it like I said, right? And then you have a desire. Okay, I either want to stay in this anger or I want to move away from this anger. And then you have a will, which is you become it. So you desire and you will it into being by integrating and feeling your will, right? So I'm angry. Why am I angry? X, Y, and Z is the case. Okay. I really don't want to be this way. It hurts me. X, Y, and Z. It hurts people around me. I rather see people happy. It doesn't align with me. Because when you know who you are, you can align with yourself, and everything else just falls away. When you know who you are, all you have to do is move in alignment with that, and it's life. Life becomes easy, right? So, okay, so I see it, I feel it, and I'm like, okay, I now desire to move in this direction, and I feel what I want to feel, and now I'm in that direction. Simple as that. It doesn't have to be just a long amount of time and blah blah blah. It can happen instantly, and I want to say that. Give me a second. Right. I want to say that. What was I going to say? Right. Time. Time is really an illusion, right? The way I look at time here is like water. When you drop things from the air into water, it slows down. So the more precise something is, the more streamlined it is, the more drive behind it, the faster it will go through the water, right? Because when things fall into water, currents can push it left and right, up and down. It may not reach its intended destination if there's no proper guidance, right? And I was going to say that, right, when people get triggered, right, think about what a trigger is. A trigger is just a moment for you to release something, right? But when you really think about what triggers relate to, triggers are mostly related to guns. The only way a gun can be fired if there's a bullet in the chamber. And the only way that bullet can be fired from the chamber is if it's loaded into the magazine. And who loaded the ammunition for that gun and then cocked it, right? So when you are triggered, you say, okay, well, I'm fine 1 minute, and then on this minute I'm not fine, I'm triggered. No, you were never fine to begin with. Your magazine was already loaded, inserted into the gun and cocked. Somebody just fired it for you so you can see now. And when you see, you don't get mad at yourself. You release. You release. Say, okay, I release you now. Let go. That's it. That's the most amount of time you need to spend on something. I release you now. Unless that's if you've already felt and integrated something new into your being and you want to get rid of something old. So after you've explored and integrated and now you want to get rid of something old, then you say, okay, I want this new feeling in. And when somebody triggers me, you have to let yourself get triggered, by the way. You have to let yourself get hurt and feel by the world. The world throw you around every situation. Doesn't mean control you, so it just means be honest. And if that honesty leads to you getting hurt, you find out why you're getting hurt, and then you integrate the new thing. You explore the old vibration, take control of it. You feel and integrate into the new vibration. And anytime the old vibration pattern starts to play out in your life, let's say you used to get angry for something of the past, and then okay, you decide to let that go. You felt the new thing coming to you, and then you say, okay, I get angry now. Somebody angers me about the same thing, and you say, I see you, I release you, I no longer have it. Bam, you don't have it anymore. It may take a couple tries, don't get mad at yourself, and then eventually you just no longer have it. It doesn't take more than like 2 times for it to happen for you to release it. Just eventually you don't care. If you were rich, you wouldn't care about being broke, so why do you care about being sad? If you were happy, you wouldn't care. That's my point, right? Let's talk about logic. Logic is used to grasp, not direct. You can't direct your life through logic. You'll never really make it anyway because you'll keep coming up with circumstances to make you fail, right? Once everything is seen, there's only creation of what you want. You grasp what you see, then you through that awareness, then you will it. Then you desire to move in a certain direction, and then you will it. End of story. Right? Food, it lies to us. It gives us a false sense of creation. What it really controls our stimulation. Right? Food does not. It makes us feel good for something. It makes us think we're creating good feelings when it really is a false light of stimulation. It doesn't really give us what we need in terms of happiness and fulfillment. It's like a crutch. It's like a baby's food, you need it for now. It's not really you. Okay? Masks, right? Next up is masks on the list. A mask is a tool we use when we lose ourselves. If the self isn't, look at that right here, isn't, I don't know what I wrote. Embody the mask till you break free. If the self isn't, okay, I have no idea what I wrote. Anyway, basically the gist is, when the self isn't present, it puts on a mask to embody its presence, right? So people who lose their confidence when they're younger need to attain confidence, which is a mask for the self. If you were already confident, you wouldn't care about being confident. Again, if you're already happy, you wouldn't care about being sad. If you're already brave, you wouldn't care about fear. You put on these masks to help you attain something, when it just speaks out of what you already are, which is the presence to overcome anything. Right? Emotions are tools for experiencing things. If I want to feel happy, I want to experience happiness. It helps me drive, it helps me enjoy driving, it helps me play video games if I want to play video games. It helps me draw, it helps me create music, play my guitar, beatbox. It helps me talk to people. It's just an emotion. I use it for what its intended purpose is for. Not to direct me, but to help me experience something in a deeper sense. A feeling. It doesn't control me. Then the next thing I said is, who do things to sustain your identity and not who we really are. For fuck's sake. Anyway. When everything is stripped back, there is no wrong there. There's no mask. There's just bare being, experiencing through a focused lens. Everybody is purity and love and everything, and it's forever okay. Right? What I mean here is the fact that you may have certain habits and hobbies that you like, but they may only give you that sense of pleasure in sustaining that part of yourself. So you spend energy trying to sustain something that is false. Like, okay, so maybe you grew out of skateboarding, so you have a pressure to skateboard now, to sustain that identity that people know, people are accustomed to. So you spend your energy on lies. You're lying to yourself and the world. That's what I mean. So instead of trying to sustain an identity, you should sustain yourself. You know? Tune to yourself. Live as truly as you know how to right now. Aspire for nothing because you currently know yourself. The tree starts off as a seed. It doesn't aspire to be anything else other than its current form. It knows itself. So the tree knows itself, knows it will be a tree. It doesn't have to aspire to be anything other than the seed it is right now. So you may be in a period of your life where you're sad. Just be sad. It's okay. Okay. You just be sad and you'll be happy again. Eventually it will turn. But you have to want to turn. Remember, awareness, desire, and will. Through your will to turn, you will turn. When the self is known, all you have to do is move in alignment with yourself, exactly what I said before. When you are, we use words to convince ourselves. Just be that. Just be. And that frequency will change the world. Sometimes we try to talk ourselves into or out of things that we want to or we do not want to do when we know what we should do because it's annoying. And we just use the word to try and help us move. We don't really have to, just need to feel. And love is the key and ends all here. I had a dream that showed me something recently. I was kind of in this military base. There was this commander who said he valued honesty above all else. So he captured me and my friend. And he chained me up, like he stabbed me, passed a train through my ribs, my mouth here, my ear. And I still feel the pain from that to this day. It's crazy, like that dream was so real. And he was like, tell me the truth, tell me the truth. I desire honesty. And when he left, when he took my friend, I acted like I didn't care, but he was like, tell me the truth. And I was like, okay. I love my friend, I love him. He's my friend. And as I said that, all the chains disappeared, all the wounds healed, and I just ended up in front of the mirror looking at myself thinking, wow, if I never just stopped being me, I'd never been here. And you might experience some kind of hurt, but it's not the same as like deep forever pain, you know? But yeah, that was my video on self-attunement. If you have any questions, any queries, anything you want to ask me, let me know in the comments and I will respond to you with my IG and you can DM me there, right? Or even Telegram and you can DM me there and answer any question you have. Thanks for listening.